3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? So real quick, let's move to our
The 3 Count question of the week.
now, Ryan. This is your brainchild this week.
Yes, I muffed up on Meme Monday, and
Thank you, cousin Brian, for reminding us.
cousin Brian. I realized then we didn't have a question of the week thrown out there, so I had this saved on my phone for months, and this was the time we were going to use it.
So it's missed opportunities in wrestling, and this I think can be, I think this can be interpreted in multiple ways. I'll kick it off. I wrote a couple down, but I'll start with my first one. To me, it's that Owen Hart never won the WWF title. You know, I think when he was in that program with Brett, whether it was the WrestleMania 10 match, you know, the King of the Ring, or it could have been at SummerSlam, where I think they had that where they had the steel cage match. I think if you pull the trigger, even if it's from SummerSlam till Survivor Series, Owen Hart with the WWF title, I think that changes a lot of things from there and moving forward. I mean, Owen Hart's an all-time great. Owen Hart is and we've touched on this back around the Dark Side of the Ring episode. Totally understand why he will probably never be a WWE Hall of Famer, but he is a Hall of Famer. He is an all-time talent. To me, never pulling the trigger on him being the WWF champion was a huge missed opportunity. Ryan, we'll go to you since it is your topic.
I didn't have one. I just presented the question. So in a panic, chill the fuck out. Yeah. I'm the yodeling guy, just fell right off the edge. It's fun. I will say the cancellation of Wrestling Society X, and that this didn't actually become anything, is a shame. If you look at the roster on that and go back and watch what they were doing, that was a fresh take on studio wrestling that we see popularized now with things like the NWA, Pro Wrestling Empire, doing studio wrestling right now. Yeah, right off the edge. So without thinking, that's going to be my choice.
Tim, we'll go to you.
I'm always going to remember the missed opportunity of Shelton Benjamin as a main player in WWE in like 2003.
Good.
During Triple H's reign of terror. Picked up the two big wins and just got snuffed out and never quite ascended. And now we're finally back into some sort of glory days with Shelton and the Hurt Business.
So good.
But I'm always going to lean back towards Shelton and them not capitalizing at that point. And also, even though we just spoke highly of the partnership with AEW and Impact, how horribly WWE bungled the Invasion.
Oof.
They
Ooh.
purchased WCW and ECW, and they only got to November.
Yeah.
And they started bringing them in at WrestleMania.
Bad. So
What?
bad.
No, not good.
Not.
Bungled. Like,
Bungled.
that could have easily been a year each.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
And then you can say the same thing about the Nexus.
I mean, you could also say the same thing, and this is another one I read, WWECW. Like we were, I think we talked about that on our watch along. Ryan is like, just let Paul Heyman, pretty much let Paul Heyman go. Like have somebody like kind of watching him, like have like a chaperone that just kind of sits in the corner and make sure like don't totally fuck this up, dude. Because like you are under our umbrella now, but like just let ECW do ECW.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem with ECW on the WWE was just the size of the arena. There was just something gritty and raw about small venue ECW. That's what makes the Capitol Wrestling Center work really well for Impact. That if they kept it to smaller, I don't even want to say arenas.
I don't need to see ECW at the United Center in Chicago.
I never needed to see that. I never needed to see the big entranceway. We keep with the bricks. Keep with the open fencing. I think you would have been much better with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Paul Heyman would have realized, no matter the budget, we need to keep this
N37
what it was.
I think that was the problem. I think Vince McMahon didn't like Bingo Hall Wrestling.
I like Bingo
which
Hall
didn't
Wrestling.
help. Intern Mark, is there a missed opportunity that you can think of?
Yes. Tim kind of touched on it. I would say any invasion angle in WWE. The WCW one was probably the biggest miss, along with ECW. And so forgettable, Vince brought in the NWO when he could. They brought in Paul and Nash as the NWO, and that just went right down.
I'm going to kill my creation.
That was... First of all, I don't think the fans accepted it.
No, I also don't.
They wanted Hogan as a face.
It also didn't help that
boy.
that 80,000 or whatever it was at the Sky Dome turned Hogan face at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And
part
just
of the
so
issue
bad.
too. Part of the issue too is that when WCW was purchased, there was two different types of contracts. There was the WCW contracts, and there were the Time Warner contracts. And WCW or WWE kind of absolved all the WCW contracts. But those Time Warner contracts, Hall, Nash, Hogan, Goldberg, Rick
Sting.
Steiner, Sting, those guys had to pretty much say, okay, we will give up the free Turner money to sign a WWE contract. And why are you going to turn down money where you can sit at home for free?
Yeah. Why? Why would you? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Heck no.
I mean, another missed opportunity, and it's not so much a missed opportunity as it is just kind of like a mishandled opportunity, but the actual breaking of the streak. Like giving the streak to Brock Lesnar instead of having it go to someone else. Like even the Undertaker said it on the One More Round with Steve Austin. Like,
yeah,
the streak meant something. Give it to someone else. Give it to someone worthwhile.
Yeah. And I mean,
Tim, let's talk about that for a second, real quick, if we can.
Yeah, sure.
Who would it be that's not already made today? Because I feel like everybody thinks it should have been Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was made a totally different way, and that's what made Roman Reigns who he is today.
Mm-hmm.
The Fiend and Bray Wyatt made totally different ways. I can't think of anybody at or near the top of the card at that time, mid to upper mid, that could have actually done it and truthfully benefited from it.
So you have WrestleMania. So WrestleMania 30. So let's say WrestleMania 30, he beats Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
31, he faces Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt was not a made dude at 31. That was Bray Wyatt's
Because he
first
lost to
WrestleMania.
Cena at 30. He lost to Cena at 30.
Okay, so it's his second Mania.
Yeah.
So it could have been Bray.
Who did he wrestle at 31?
It's Bray fights the Undertaker.
That was 31.
Yeah.
Like the walkers. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yep. 32. I literally just ran down all the Undertaker's opponents.
32
like
was
2 weeks ago.
Roman.
No, that was Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas was 32.
Dallas was 33, I thought.
Dallas was 32. Roller Coaster was 33.
Okay.
Because then they went back to New Orleans for 34, New York for 35,
Okay.
the Performance Center for 36.
Okay. So Roman was 32. No, Roman was 33.
Yeah, Roman was Roller Coaster. Shane,
The Hell in a Cell match was 32. No.
The best
No.
in the world. Shane McMahon.
3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
We worked it in, baby.
One of these days,
we got
have
there.
a great night, everybody.
Can we just all agree to start calling him Vince's kid?
Nope.
I mean, if you do, I don't get to hit the button.
Correct.
You have to change your own vocabulary. If I hear that name, it goes.
I didn't say his name first.
It doesn't matter. Just for good
Not
measure.
just you say
Here
it.
we go. Money.
So it was. It was Shoe Guy at 32.
There you go.
Shoe guy works.
Shoe guy. Yeah, shoe guy works.
True guy.
Um,
So it doesn't go to him.
it could have been
it could've
Bray
been
at
Bray.
31.
Could have been Roman. Like that could have put Roman over the top. Like,
But didn't Roman beating him even with one loss put him over the top anyway?
it did, but it would have meant more if it was 0.
Okay.
Because I think
feel like you get that Raw moment where
yeah,
the boos are raining regardless.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
not
think
but
Roman-
I also think though, if the streak makes it, that would have been 23-0 going into Mania 33. Because it was 21-1. So that would have been 22-0,
22.
23-0,
Yep.
20. He would have been 24-0
Right.
going into Roman.
Right, and he ends his career with one loss.
At 24-1, he's done. And we don't get the Cena matchup. We don't get anything bonus after that.
We don't get the
But-
we don't get the boneyard match.
But even if he beats Roman, say he beats Roman at 33. The only other person who comes around anywhere close to after that could use it, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Drew could put him down.
Like,
I mean, the WWE could have also really fucked it up and been like, here's Otis versus The Undertaker. So, just saying.
got our top suspect right here.
Oh yes, Chucky, we have our top suspect. Tomato chips.
You know, or you know, if you really want to, play it out, you could bring up, an Adam
Could have
Cole.
brought up an
You could-
NXT guy.
You could have brought up a
Tomato chips.
you could have brought a Tommaso Ciampa. You could have,
Kevin Owens.
yeah, it could have been a Kevin Owens.
Like there's definitely possibilities. I can understand.
I don't believe Adam Cole or Kevin Owens defeats The Undertaker if the likes of Roman Reigns cannot.
Here's the
I'm
thing
not
for me.
saying
For
Adam
me,
Cole.
Roman. I just that was his name. I don't think. While it could have, infinitely made Roman like untouchable, I also don't think Roman Reigns needed it. I feel like a guy like Bray Wyatt. Now, don't get me wrong, with the Fiend and everything they've been doing here recently, the Bray / the Fiend has recovered, but I feel like the Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family, that could have been served pretty well by defeating the Undertaker. Charlie here says he'll always say Orton or Punk. Orton doesn't need it. Punk didn't need it, but it could have happened at 29.
Punk at 29 would have been wild.
Could Orton have used it when he faced him at 21? Because, like,
Sure.
not saying bring back Orton later, but think about the early run. So, like, he was coming off of his return with Kane.
Mm-hmm.
You had, from then, it was Orton, Mark Henry, Batista, Edge. Those four, with the exception of Mark Henry. But Orton, Batista, Edge. One of those three could have easily ended the streak, considering that Edge was also undefeated in singles competition.
I mean, at the same time, at WrestleMania 21, he only became 13-0. So does it mean as much then? I think they only even really started acknowledging it at WrestleMania 19
with 10.
Yeah, because he sits there on the and counts up 10.
He counts it. Like, it doesn't get as big, but it is absolutely mentioned. Like,
You skipped over Mark Henry. Think what that would have done for Mark Henry career. Though.
Correct.
I mean, totally different stratosphere of a performer.
Right.
If you're Mark Henry and you knock off Taker at WrestleMania.
Right. I mean, he doesn't break out. He doesn't fully break out until. Does he become World Heavyweight Champion? He becomes World Heavyweight Champion after his match with Undertaker against Randy Orton.
Got that Taker rub, baby.
Like, it could have been it could have been Mark Henry, but like, it's none of the Shawn Michaels matches. It's none of the Triple H matches. So then it gets to CM Punk.
Charlie says if it had been Punk, maybe he would have stayed. Like, they're taking the belt off him for Rock or Cena, but we're giving you the streak. Punk had the belt for 400 plus days. Punk was one of the most featured players. If he needed the streak to stay, Vince was going to let him walk anyhow. Because at that point, you're trying to make yourself bigger than the company, in my opinion. Like, and I've come around and I don't have anger towards CM Punk like I did when he left. But like, any of this notion or belief that Punk was disrespected, slighted, crapped on, anything like that in any way, shape, or form, when you hold a belt for 400 plus days in this era, the WWE Championship, which is hot potato. I mean, we just saw Drew McIntyre had it from WrestleMania. They just throw it off of him for a couple of weeks, and then they toss it back to him, and potentially hot potatoing again. Obviously, Money in the Bank still in play, but yeah, I don't necessarily buy into that. Devin says here about Aleister Black maybe being one. I mean, if it plays out till 35, 36, Aleister Black has that vibe to him. That could certainly be somebody. Mark, is there anybody that that you can think of that should have gotten it?
Well, I don't know if I'd say he should have gotten it, but it certainly would have put the rocket ship on the Miz to beat the Undertaker with like a heel roll up or some type of heel tack. I'm not saying I would agree with that, but boy, it would have sent him to the stratosphere, if you will.
Yeah. By that point, by the time he would have faced the Undertaker, though, the Miz would have already beaten John Cena twice at WrestleMania. Now, there was a point in time in which, like, the Miz dipped after losing the title, because even though he did beat John Cena, I think he lost the title to John Cena the next month on pay-per-view. And then The Miz was nowhere near the world title picture until now.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
even then, like, it's only because of Money in the Bank. But yeah, an Undertaker, like, if it would have been The Miz instead of John Cena at 34, and that would have been cool.
Yeah, Char, I know you're a big Karrion Kross guy, but Kross ain't that dude. Kross ain't the dude to put out Undertaker. Sorry. He's not. He's got a cool entrance. I love the entrance.
Yeah, because I don't know if Undertaker lasts.
Like,
I don't think the streak lasts.
no. And here's the thing. Like, I love the entrance with Kross and Scarlett, and I love me some Scarlett Bordeaux, but Kross ain't that dude. He's not. He's not an all-time dude. You know, he's not a Roman. He's not a Bray. He's not a, you know, he's not a Cena. He's not, you know, and I know I'm throwing out some huge names. He's not a Punk. He's not a Norton. He's, you know, he's not that dude. He's just not that. He's not a Drew McIntyre.
Kross's problem is he's 35 years old already.
Yeah.
That's Kross's problem, and only now in WWE.
Hell, fuck, if the streak makes it to this year, AJ Styles could be that dude. AJ Styles could have been the dude to break the streak and put down Taker.
Ooh, I don't know what that does for Styles on the way out.
Well, but you can take it and then what they could have done with Brock is when somebody finally does dethrone him, it can mean more. I don't think by the time now, Charlie, he's not. Yeah, you love the guy. I'm not trying to take away your love for Karrion Kross, but like he's not that dude. He's not that dude.
What are Taker's stats real quick? Like, Kross is a big guy in NXT. Kross is 6'4", 265. Kross is a big boy for NXT. I don't think that stacks up appropriately with The Undertaker. It would be a cool match, Charlie. I'd love the match. I don't think it's a Mania match.
That's a great match on WWE 2K20. Taker is billed at 6'10", 308.
So he's got 6 inches and 38 pounds over Karrion Kross. That's going to make Kross not look so big. And I think that's part of Kross's game, is he looks big. He's a big boy.
And my only point to AJ Styles.
Scarlett. Let's not forget about beautiful, beautiful Scarlett.
My only point to AJ Styles is AJ Styles is a name that, like, across wrestling, and because he was able to retain his name, that everybody knows. Like, I don't think Karrion Kross is that dude. He just isn't. And again, I'm not crapping on the guy.
I don't think there's a dude in NXT that is that guy right now.
3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?